it's an annual exam, and I think it's one of our best we have, that it transits. It takes the child from the next level to the other, from secondary to high school to the university level. So I think we handle this exam with scrutiny, if I'm correct, Mr. Principal.
Yeah.
How valid are results that are produced under cameras, if I may ask, in Cameroon? How authentic are these results, or are these exams dished out under cameras, or in rooms that are being put under surveillance cameras?
You know, Madam, we always have missed, I for one have missed the yesteryears where GC was actually GC.
Yeah.
And where everything was read over the radio. You don't need to have it through your phone.
Things are evolving,
so
times are changing.
Yes, where you hear, you keep your radio with your family members.
Or newspaper.
Yes, or newspaper. With your family members, they start from center number 10 or 001. They start from there and they are moving. Days after days, you are waiting patiently until they reach your center. But today, it is not like that. They started digitalizing it, wherein you need to send a code to maybe a MTN or a message to the MTN, and you wait for some times or some hours, and they send your result. That one did not work well. They still move along again and maybe start publishing all the examination and send it to social media. And that one too did not work well because the grade were there. Sometimes when you have 2E, you will be looked throughout your life as someone who had 2E. They can use that
stigma.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that one too did not work. They went further again to remove the grade and just send the subject. So there are a lot that is happening within the years as technology is advancing. But we cannot compare the yesteryears with what we are having today. You will see in social media, some will be claiming that they have the GC question, even snap the questions and send to you that you need to join a certain group, a VIP group, before you have access, and you have to pay money.
Yes,
sometimes they are lying, sometimes they give you spec that will be exact of what you are seeing. So there are a lot of challenges, like I mentioned, with the technology advancing. Like I mentioned, I think the focus here should not be short-term measures. The government or the GC board should think of digitalizing the GC. In fact, we have reached a stage, if Nigeria that they don't have even a stable electricity supply, they are using this in digital
the famous
system.
NEPA and their,
yeah,
and
NEPA
their
and the rest that can fail all the time. But they still use a digital way of doing their exams. Why not Cameroon? I think we have gone beyond printing papers, running up and down, sending people from left and right to go and give papers. I think we should be thinking of a very long term to salvage this particular
Definitely. Situation. That should be a topic of another day where we think we should go digital.
Yeah.
And I think writing exams from the comfort of your home, or even if the students have to come to centers, but it has to be maybe on computers, not only because I think now, Mr. Tawa, the papers where we have to write on computers are just, I think, only computer subjects. If I get it right.
Yes, some computer subjects and maybe the commercial departments they also have practicals that they do with computer.
But if they have to make every paper digital, okay, that should be a story for another day. Viewers of Royal TV, we have pedagogues here in the studio in the person of the principal of Gratitude Islamic Secondary School over here in Boya Town, Mr. Tawad Ibrahim, and Dr. Nahibu Musa, who equally is the deputy chairperson of this institution. And they have been talking about the introduction or the bringing the debuts of CCTV cameras in examination classrooms, where in the ongoing GC session for this year, it has been operational. We take cue on this very short break, and when we come back, we will be looking at the challenges and prospects of how these cameras are working in these exam rooms.
Looking for a powerful way to make your business stand out? Want your products and services to reach thousands of people every single day? Welcome to Royal Advertising Agency, your mobile publicity powerhouse. With our fully equipped advertising van fitted with high-quality speakers, we take your message directly to the streets, directly to the people, directly to your customers. From busy markets to neighborhoods, junctions, events, and business areas, we move around town broadcasting your adverts loud and clear. Creato comes with strategic spaces for posters, banners, and flyers, turning every movement into a moving billboard for your business. Need more impact? Our energetic promotional team is ready to distribute flyers hand to hand across town, helping your brand connect directly with the public. We offer free business consultancy, audio and video spot production, graphic designs of all types. Whether you're promoting a new product, announcing an event, running a campaign, or growing your business, Royal Advertising Agency is your trusted partner for effective outdoor publicity. Don't just advertise, dominate the streets with visibility. Call now 670-743-034. Royal Advertising Agency, taking your business everywhere.
Welcome back, viewers of Royal TV. Yes, we are here on Youth Connect. Youth Connect, the program that comes up every Wednesday from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m., where we get to talk to you about youth. Today we are talking about the introduction of CCTV cameras into the GCE classrooms. What prospects and challenges have they brought so far? We have the Principal of Gratitude Islamic Secondary School here. We equally have the Deputy Chairperson here to diagnose this topic of ours, and they have been talking on these very pertinent topics where they've thrown more light on the fact that these cameras have come and they have come to stay, and they equally talked about some challenges and prospect. Over to you, Mr. Principal. We want to talk about of these cameras have come with some challenges. What are some of the challenges, if we may ask to those watching us right now on Youth Connect?
Yes, Natalie, in as much as we are very happy and we appreciate the GC, why they move? Why is the GC board doing that? And you earlier mentioned it to ensure so that the credibility of our exam should not go beyond that is the threshold. So these are moves that the GC board is making. The Dr. Naibu has already mentioned some challenges, but we must know that anything that is in the introductory phase or is in the teaching phase will definitely have challenges, and I think that the GC board probably will learn from some of these challenges to move forward, because it is our job when our exam has the standard it deserves, the credibility it deserves. None of us is happy to hear that students are having exams 4 days to the GC. I mean, 4 days to the writing, students are already having the exam 2 days, and so it's not the best. So we are moving with technology. We have to be smart. So as the students are smart, we too have to be smart. Then after acknowledging this, we must acknowledge that the challenges would be there. Raising, pointing the challenges is not a way to say it's a failure or it's a mistake to have introduced them. It is important we know that DTV cameras that were put in place, like Dr. Riley said, needs operators. Needs to be operated, and we always mention the issue, the authorization or the usage of this content or these images that are being taken, or these videos that are being taken in the what is the assurance that the students have that these images will not end up on social media? So those are the challenges that each and everyone, the parent, the student, at this point in time are asking themselves that what happens with the image of the students? Some people or some students, challenges that we all know, find them difficult to even get to the hall or to the task. So when they struggle, they mingle, maybe wear uniform in the center, only them, their parents know that they are writing, but on one day they find them on social media in the center, right? So it's a problem that is creating a stigma in those families. Now we only have the issue of the electricity Doctor equally pointed out already, there is no way we can talk of operating CCTV cameras if there is no assurance that there will be electricity supply in those centers. That is for centers that are already have the electricity installation. That is those who already have electricity.
Yes.
Because we even have centers that do not even have electricity. It's not like they is maybe going. They don't have at all.
So many.
So how do we implement the project in those areas? Now it equally leads us to a challenge. Are we now seeing inequality among the students? Because now the students who are in town are now exposed to strict surveillance, while those who are not in town or in urban areas, not because of what, but are not going to be controlled like those who are in town. But they are going to be rated the same. They are going to all be marked by the same examiner. So there are a lot of challenges that are coming. We equally have to know that to an extent, these CCTV cameras too, the kind of video is also pointing another problem. The invigilators. Yes. Because the invigilators who were also doing their work, I don't think it would have been too necessary to bring cameras. So it's also coming to invigilate the invigilators, and equally raising that's another point problem. Because if students are able, the GC board went ahead to reduce the ratio of students per invigilator, yet the problem persists. It means that another issue of invigilation that we have to find who are those invigilating. Do they spend time on social media while invigilating, or they spend time, maybe they have some agreement with the students? So there are a lot of challenges that are coming with the camera installation, and it is not impossible. It's a good initiative. The challenges are there, and we believe that with time, this board will improve either to make the CCTV camera more effective or to go for alternative solutions like Doctor started raising one or two. We said we'll have opportunity to come back, look at what are the alternatives we can suggest to the GC board in the years ahead while we are moving on with this session that is coming to an end.
Definitely. For me, these cameras instituted, is it in all sense like those in this area where we talk of not having, like example, we have Aquaya centers in the suburbs like Southwest region, we have interior center, and students are writing there, not like they transfer to other centers with this camera. How is functional? Is it not some impartiality in the sense of writing the written face, or I don't understand how the GC board intends to, or the ministry intends to run this?
Yeah, like we said from the beginning, it's a project that has been initiated. And I believe the technicians at the GC board must have considered these challenges as well, because they know it's not like they are living in a different country. We all live in this country, and we know that even the schools in town are having it difficult to have a flow of electricity throughout. So I believe that probably they must have had that in mind. They are working on that. Probably they want to stabilize the town, but that impartiality is already visible. I will not write GC every year. The child is writing GC this year, and under that same condition, will feel that it was still be unfair because he is in town. So the problem and the other challenge we are even observing here is, are all the halls in town having CCTV cameras? We notice not all the halls are having. A lot of resources have been put by the various authorities, and majority of the halls are having in town, but not all the halls are having. It means that we can still be in the same hall, in the same town, but other surveillance, you are not.
Definitely.
So it's we just believe that the GC board is at the introductive phase of a bigger picture, of a bigger vision tomorrow.
Definitely, we are in the the GC board is actually in the introductory phase for a bigger picture, and we hope this vision doesn't die. We hope it flows ahead and goes further. So what do you think, should I say, what measures, we talk of these cameras came to shun malpractices? Do you think they've actually worked to solve this examination malpractice and leakages? Have these cameras helped a lot, Doc, if I may ask?
I think what we can say here, like he mentioned, is a project that has just been initiated so far.
Phase.
And I think after the whole thing of the GC for almost 2 weeks, the minister ordered that they should have the videos and analyze them. And after analysis, we have not had any report from the videos. Hopefully, maybe after the GC must have been over, then we'll be able to evaluate them. But so far, like I mentioned, this particular project that the GC board has engaged in, I don't appreciate it much, because I believe that at this particular stage that we are talking about, I want a system that should be digitalized. I know it might come with time, but this particular system is not enough, because when you realize it was introduced this year,
Yeah.
and after the introduction, leakages were so rampant
Very
that the
rampant.
minister has to step in and maybe suspend it or program it for 2 weeks before the candidate came back. They just resumed back in writing. So you realize that despite the fact that we have installed it, maybe solving a problem in the room where they are writing, but like I mentioned to you, leakages occur before
Out of the
the
room.
papers reach the examination hall. I think there, like I mentioned, GC board is doing a lot. Like last year, what they did is that to reduce the leakages, they made catchment areas where they will keep the papers, and just 15 minutes to the examination period before they transfer them and bring them to the hall. Yeah, to the center. And you realize that we are still having a lot of challenges, because here we are grouping students who are living in urban areas and those that are living in rural areas. And for those that are living in the villages, we are talking about even the conflicts, the insecurity that is happening in the northwest and southwest region. So it becomes a very big challenge really to monitor and give the credit that the exam needs. But however, maybe after the written part, maybe they can sit and analyze and give us the feedback, because this should just be a trial base, if I may put it. And maybe tomorrow, if it is not working, they can remove it and bring another system. Like I mentioned, we really need to move with technology. As technology is advancing, we should advance with technology. And GC, like I mentioned, is one of the best exams that are written in Cameroon, if not the overall best. And I think we should pay a lot of attention to that particular system, since it is purely Anglo-Saxon way of doing things. And challenges are there, and there are a lot of solutions that we can propose to the GC. I hope the GC board too is working on some, because when you look at it, what they did last year, they are advancing, because last year this issue of camera was not so pronounced, was not there.
Yes.
So this year they have moved a step ahead. Maybe next year they will realize and introduce another system. We wonder at the end of the day, the goal here is that the exam should be credible.
Very credible.
Yes, that is what at the end we really want.
We hope for,
yes,
as pedagogues and as
it.
teachers too. We want to look at, let me ask this to you, Mr. Tawad. What measures should be put in place to combat this aspect of footage leakage? Let me not say leakages, we've not had any, but to protect these footages. Is it being controlled by the teachers or the center heads, or does the GC board send a tech expert to come and control? I don't know, how are these footages protected and preserved just for educational purpose, like you earlier mentioned?
Yeah, irrespective of who is going to control the footages or the cameras on the various centers, whether the technicians that are being put in place by the GC board or the technicians that have been hired or employed by the various centers, the goal or the rule here is that there must be some set rules governing that the usage. Because if we don't put some stringent measures on how to manage or to control those images, it will turn into something else, especially in this world of AI. I mean, it takes nothing for someone to take a student and generate
social media content. Exactly.
Yes, insinuate even a fraud of exam malpractice that this student was having a course. So you see, it becomes more sensitive, and I think that if there were no measures already put in place to address this, then it becomes urgent. It becomes urgent to make sure that whoever, is it the technicians of the school, because most schools will maybe claim or say they have the technician, it is their school. So some policies should be put in place to govern those images. There should be some restrictions on who has access. There should be some clear pattern on where it is being stored. There should be some clear pattern on the duration. How long are we going to hold these images? Because it was meant for a purpose. The exam is over. What time will it take you to go through and maybe discard those images? Because having it too for eternity is just postponing an ill for tomorrow. So we don't want to know or want to get into maybe the internal arrangements between the GC board and those various centers. But we are firmly saying that the GC board should, if there were not measures already put in place, there should be measures put in place to protect those images. Who manages those images and who has access to those images? Where are they stored? And for what duration?
Thank you. This is bringing me to this question where I think you've already answered, where I wanted to ask if you could give a piece of advice to the GCE board on these, probably on some of the on the installation of these cameras. What advice would it be? Is it protecting the footages? Is it going? Femi asks, are these cameras installed by the center or by the GCE board?
Those are we don't know much about it, but because something we know about CCTV cameras is that it is gradually becoming indispensable for the management of a school.
I mean,
away from the GCE.
Yes, away from the GCE.
So we don't know
some schools already have them.
Some schools already have their cameras to monitor the students throughout the academic year.
Too.
Yeah, but so we don't know if the GCE board has an agreement to supply these materials to the various schools or of the various centers, or the centers have it as an obligation, a mandate to ensure that but what we know is that the GC board promised that any center that is not going to be having the CCTV cameras might be withheld. So if a center is not having cameras from next year, they should know that maybe they will not be allowed to run the GC. So we don't know who is responsible for that.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Tawa. Thank you very much, Dr. Nahibo. Viewers of Royal TV, we are still here on Youth Connect. We will be leaving you very soon, but we are still diagnosing the topic where we've talked of the panelists here in the studio have talked of the challenges that comes with the CCTV cameras, and equally some prospects that these cameras bring to the examination room. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we will continue talking. And why not be thinking to pack our bags out of the studio?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ashura 2026, 1448. The month of Muharram, 10th Muharram, 25th June 2026 is the day of Ashura. What is Ashura? Ashura is the day of victory of Musa alayhi salam over Fir'auna, who claimed to be a god. What is Ashura? It is the day of fasting that Muslims celebrate as a sign of the victory of Musa alayhi salam, commanded by who? Our noble prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. How can I fast Ashura? Ashura on the 25th, that's the reader, 2026 June. I can fast Ashura Wednesday, Thursday, or Thursday, Friday, or Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. 3 days or 2 days, 1 day before, 1 day after. That is the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Tell our brother to fast Ashura. It is the way to support, to adore Moses' victories over Fir'auna. Ashura coming up soon.
Welcome back, viewers of Royal TV. If you're just tuning into your TV set, if you're coming back from work, if you're coming back from school, if you're coming back from wheresoever, from the market or from the office, you're on to Royal TV, and this is Youth Connect. Youth Connect comes up every Wednesday at this time, and we have talking about the installation of CCTV cameras in examination classrooms by the GCE board, how these cameras have helped shift exams, how the innovation has changed the face of the written face of examinations here in not only Boya but Cameroon as a whole. We have the principal, Gratitude Islamic Secondary School, the person of Mr. Tawad Ibrahim, and we equally have the deputy chairperson in the person of Dr. Naibu, who we have been diagnosing this topic here in the studio. Permit me ask you, Mr. Principal, if what role should parents, the introduction of these cameras not only rely on the centers and the students or the vigilators, but parents on their part to have a role to play for this to work, and even the teachers. What role or what do you think are the roles that students, teachers, and parents should play to make this policy of camera work effectively?
For us to be able to see the role that the parents, especially, permit me say that, will play in this particular issue of CCTV cameras in the halls, it will be important that we have a small look or throwback on why are they putting cameras. That's the first thing that the parents should ask yourself. Why would the GC board choose to put cameras to check or to monitor the students in the exam hall? You will realize that the simple one-word answer is exam malpractice.
Yes.
It is because there is exam malpractice that the GC board has put measures to ensure that those students who are working hard, those students who spend time studying, will have the results they deserve. Because it is very discouraging for a student to spend all your time studying and at the end you have a B grade while somebody you know very well was never even present in the classroom as an A. So it is something that the parents must also start by appreciating.
Yeah.
I will urge parents to appreciate first. Because once you don't appreciate something, whatever they say about it, you are just like,
Yes.
So the parents should start by appreciating that there was need and there is still need to ensure that those students who deserve, who merit our standard or our GC should be awarded. And those who don't merit should also. And now, if there was exam malpractice, because maybe there are leakages, because maybe there are, you know, it plays a lot when there is exam malpractice. It makes students, they don't even go to school.
They don't.
I will speak to you as a teacher.
Yes, sir.
You go to a classroom of about 50 students and you barely find 20. Where are the others? You notice that the student already understood. In fact, he already measured and understood that you have nothing to offer to him. Because what he needs is not from you. What he needs is to pass the GC, and the GC is available on Facebook.
Yes.
So why should, I mean, Natalie, why will you go and sit in the classroom that you want to write an exam when you know that at the eve you just need some 2 hours and you know you revise everything and you pass? So the exam malpractice is existing now because every child wants to pass at all costs.
Yes.
And here now I want to call the parents. Some parents are really putting too much pressure on the students. They want the student to pass at all costs. You see a parent with a child in Form 3, they are already asking, can we register him for GCE? So where are you taking the child to?
The rush.
Where are you taking the child to? So now when you register the child in Form 3, in Form 4, because you want him, probably you have your own ambitions for the child, that child did not take Form 3 material, that child did not take Form 4 material, where will he get it? Naturally you have the pressure now to find ways for that child to pass.
And even in Form 5, I think they still have materials.
They have almost 50% of the work is supposed to be done again in Form 5. So at the end of the day now, you see some parents encourage. We at times, even in schools, we advise parents, when the GC is about coming, collect those phones from the students. If truly you say you don't want exam malpractice, collect the phones from them. And be careful the amount of money you are giving them. Because they use those money to buy...
Do you think some of these parents not partake or not take part in some of these buying of the exams?
Directly or indirectly they do.
Yes.
Directly, that some might give money. Indirectly, maybe they close their eyes and say, okay, well, if you can pass, you can pass. So we'll call the parents to see this as an initiative to encourage students to go back to the classroom. Take their lessons very serious. Because if they take their lessons very serious, by the time people are shouting or Speco or whatever online, he'll be busy doing his final revision. And you parent, you will not have an issue. Avoid putting too much expectation on the child. Allow the child to follow. The GC board, the whole ministry cannot put a syllable and you are asking your child to skip. The parents should know that they are building when you send a child to school, you want him to be somebody tomorrow. It's not about certificate. Because that is the problem. When we just look at certificate, want to have a certificate, then you want to buy it through those illegal means. But if you know that the child skipping from 5 or skipping from 4 is going to be detrimental for them, then you will ensure that you instead guide your child through, not probably trying to push them. Competition among the parents as well. Yes. Oh, the child of so and so passed with 4 A grades. My child must pass with 4 A grades. The child also has 25 points. My child must have 25 points. Meanwhile, the child gods have given the ability to have freely 18 points. Now you push the child now into exam malpractice, even 5 points you cannot have.
Talking about those competitions, Mr. Tawa, it is very common, especially in market, family meeting groups, jangi, country meetings.
Yeah.
I think this is really something that parents need. It's something that I think they need to be schooled on.
Yeah. So the parents should assist the GCE board. First of all, we said that they should start by understanding and accepting that the vision of the GCE board, it is to help the nation at large. When they understand it, they should accompany the GCE board by schooling their students, by calming down, allowing them to follow their normal program, and like that, the students will have more time spent in the classroom, and they will have less interest to all those speckles. And you see, even
so, permit me ask, Fancy, do you think this CCTV will just be operational for this year, or it's a vision, like you said, it's a good vision that has come to stay? Do you think next year, with all these, with the hurdles that we've seen, is it still going to be operational? Has it come to stay?
Yeah, we cannot assess a project and maybe just debunk it in 1 year. Probably we need to go back to the drawing board and find out what was the objective that was aimed. Because if the objective was to fight leakages, we say no, leakages don't happen in the exam hall. If the objective was to fight leakages, then it doesn't happen there. If the objective was to supplement the invigilators who are very gradually not doing their work, and there is no way we can control them, then I think that it is something good and they should continue. So the continuity of this project will depend on first the objective and the outcome. At the end, we have to analyze and sit back and find out what was our objective in this particular CCTV. If it is found to be successful, then we only encourage the DC board to continue, but not to stop there, to look further. And if it's not successful, I think it is very normal that it should be withdrawn and maybe better solutions. I think there are technicians who are working day in, day out at the DC board. They should not relent. We are in support of their initiative, of their vision to give more credit to our exams. But it should not be a traditional style that maybe because I am the one supplying those cameras in those schools, and no matter the challenges, I say no, they should continue. No. If rationally we observe that it is not yielding the expected outcome, it should be ruled out. But if it is, or if it has the prospect that it will, we should continue providing it, supporting it, and seeing how you're going to help us.
Thank you very much, sir. Over to you, Doc. I see you nodding. You might want to add something to what Mr. Tawad is saying.
Yeah, I think it's very important what he mentioned. First of all, I think it's too early to evaluate whether they will use it next year or not. First of all, the first video that were selected and analyzed, we have not had the results yet. So, like he mentioned, maybe with time after the GC, if they do it, and the main purpose was to maybe prevent examination malpractices in the hall, then I think the project can help to a certain extent, though we cannot say it can go generally right down to the village. But I think it's equally a good start. Now then, my main problem with this particular project is that where the leakages always come from. They don't come from the classroom. Yes. The students always have them before they get into the classroom. And the question is, how does the GC board transport the materials to the centers? That is one. Number two, who does the transportation? Number three, where do they print? Is it harmonized? And number four, do they even have vehicles that can move in all the center to supply?
We know this thing is a stage by stage something, so it's a step by step. One person cannot do the whole process. To me, I think they have a printing press or printers, and they are abstract people. They are normal persons like us who have candidates or who have parents, who have sisters, brothers, children who are writing.
Okay, that is I think where the problem always comes from. You know, when we are moving towards digitalization,
Yes, sir.
we really need to budget high. It comes with cost.
So much.
Many of these things sometimes they are not budgeted, and that's why you realize that they have a lot of challenges within the process. Like you mentioned, it is but human. Sometimes people feel human when you have your sister or your brother who is writing to remove just one paper and snap and send, right?
Yes,
People
sir.
feel that it is okay. And snapping like that before you realize it has gone out.
Viral.
And know that what you have done, you have taken confidentiality, because if you are working at the highest level of the GC board, I think confidentiality should be one of the aspects that you should always keep. No matter the situation, don't release the questions before time. And sometimes even the scammers, they claim that the questions, they have them when they just want to make money out of the students. And that's why we always tell the students that they should be very, very careful. Sometimes people just come from nowhere, they want to earn money, they claim that they can just edit some few things and just type and send, and you feel that it is the right paper. When you go to the exam hall, you realize that those are not the questions. So equally, another aspect that GC should consider is that they should print the questions at the neck of time. In fact, like you mentioned, there should be a contract with one confidence agency that will be in charge of printing, wherein they are dotted all over the national territory. And when it is almost time, maybe 15 minutes when the candidates are already in the hall, that's when they are supposed to
Bring the papers.
bring the papers. But now the real challenge that we have is the remote areas that they might need 1 or 2 days for the questions to get this going through this advance in technology. But like I always mention, I think digitalizing the system would have been the best for the GC. I think with time they will reach there.
They will.
But for now, I think more measures should be put in place, like the issue of the catchment area that they introduced. I think it helps a little bit, and maybe preventing late coming in the exam hall where the student can have the question before they enter the hall.
Yeah.
All of that, I think to a certain extent, it plays a positive role, but it was not enough. And I must tell you that even the camera issue will never be enough. And the challenges are even greater for the camera, because there are a lot that comes to play when you are dealing with this. The issue of confidentiality, the issue of electricity like he was mentioning, the issue of technicians, skilled people that can manage it, and the issue of even finances to run them, to buy, install, all of that. There are a lot that always come with this kind of initiatives.
Definitely, sir. There are a lot that comes with such. We are growing close to the end of the program. We are running off. We want to get your last words or final message to some youth out there. We'll begin with you, Mr. Principal. What are some of the words you have for parents? Make it very snappy.
Okay, to the youth in general, I want to draw their attention that when it comes to education, they should not or they should stop viewing education as something you just pass through, years pass, you get a certificate and you go out. They should, when they say that youth are the leaders of tomorrow, they should always sit back and think or put themselves in the shoe of the governor of their region, put themselves in the shoe of the minister of finance, the minister, and say, should I be appointed now as a minister of finance, as any other maybe top official of this country? Can I do what they are doing? If the answer is no, which is obviously no, you should know that you have to sit down and learn, because for certificate you should you should not take it as a process that years pass and I learn. So the GC board is simply helping you in making sure that before you cross that stage, you acquire the knowledge. Otherwise, you will be among those who will be outside there and keep claiming there is no job, whereas you are not fit for the job. Why are you not fit for the job? Because you spend time looking for speco, you spend time looking for exam leakage to pass. So please, I am begging on the youth, begging on the parents, begging even on the administrators and teachers to ensure that when a child is in the classroom, they should deserve before they go to the next stage. So that when they are being awarded a certificate, you get we don't have issue of exam malpractice, and before they have been awarded a certificate, that they will deserve it and they will truly be the leaders of tomorrow.
Definitely, definitely. They will truly be the leaders of tomorrow. Dear viewers, so we have come to the end of this edition of Youth Connect today, on Wednesday, June 24. And we have had the principal of Gratitude Islamic Secondary School, Tawad Ibrahim, who has been talking to us about the introduction of CCTV cameras in examination rooms. We equally had the deputy chairperson in the person of Dr. Naibu, who equally diagnosed this topic of the introduction of CCTV cameras in room, and we talked of it has come to stay. It is a good initiative there by the GCE board, and it's a laudable one for most pedagogues out there. And it has come to stay if we support the vision. If the parents, the teachers, and equally the students get to support the vision, then we will make exams phase or written examination phase here in Cameroon a very authentic one, and a one that will be commendable by international authorities. We'll catch you again same time next week on Youth Connect, where we'll be talking about important topics about youth. But as at now, we will be packing our bags out of the studio. I have been your presenter, Natalie Juma. The program has been technically assisted by David Stango, and it has been generally supervised by Frida Lena Voma. Stay tuned, so important programs are comes up on Royal TV. Bye-bye.